See, as I told you in the previous class, electrostatic Coombe drive. See, this particular electrostatic Coombe drive, it can be used as an actuator as well as a sensor. See, there are certain devices where it works only as an sensor. Okay, this particular device, it is going to work as an actuator as well as a sensor. Right, this I have told you a bit early itself. As an actuator means, like if you want to have a mechanical movement, if you want to have a mechanical movement, suppose I'll just apply some voltage. Okay, this is a mechanical movement or the displacement. If it wants to take place, then we'll use this particular electrostatic Coombe drive, wherein this driver, what it will do, it will consume the whatever the amount of voltage it is required, and what is the exact displacement it has to take place. Okay, you can just program it and you can leave it as such. Okay, we can program and we can leave it, but when we go for any normal devices, no, we can't program that particular devices. If I'm using one particular gear and gear mechanism, means I can't program that gear mechanism completely to be automated. I should use some different controller for that, but this particular drive which is used as an actuator, wherein I can have the motion. Okay, by exerting some force on it, either it may be a mechanical force or electrical force or electromechanical force on that particular object. And this same electrostatic Coombe drive, it can be used as a sensor also. Sensor means I don't want to have any displacement, I don't want to apply any energy, I'll just give some amount of energy to turn on that particular device, and it has to sense different parameters. Okay, it has to sense the different parameters. Suppose if I keep this particular Coombe drive in one particular sector, it can measure what is the amount of displacement it is taking place, the movement of an actuator, or the movement of any what is that, a beam or any belts, conveyor belts. We can have the sensing, we can have the displacement exact value. Okay, it can be used as an actuator or it can be used as well as a sensor too. Okay, and coming to the principle of operation, I think I have told you regarding this. See, here is one particular diagram. This is what is that, electrostatic Coombe drive, which is used as an actuator, in what is that, laboratories. Laboratories means in the chemical manufacturing industries. If I want to segregate the components, or if I want to mix, this is amount of proportion of sodium compounds, or this is amount of component, the nitrate it has to be added, or if you want to create any mixture of steroids, if you want to prepare, so this actuators, it is going to turn on the particular time, and it is going to have the particular displacement. Biomedical field, they are using it in a very versatile process. Okay, and whatever the materials that we are going to use it here, it is polysilicon with a single crystal of physical structure, and we have a what is that, a wafers, or you can say even it is a what is that, fabricated materials, because all these devices, whatever I'm speaking, whether it is an actuator or a sensor, it is completely of micro fabrication. Okay, the layer has to be given, the layer to layer has to be given with a different alloys to have the complete component. Okay, so here when we go with the principle of operation, see here they have given, now we are using silicon nitrile for electrical insulation, and we have gold for electrodes. It is something, it will be acting as a capacitor. You have two electrodes kept in different places, and we are going to maintain some displacement in between, or you can say a dielectric medium you are going to maintain, right? So I am going to use a silicon nitride. Okay, silicon nitride, it will be used for electrical insulation. As I told you, if I use this electrostatic Coombe drive as an actuator, what it has to do, it should give some displacement, it should have some displacement, right? Suppose if I want to lift this particular object, Okay, here this particular Coombe drive, it will be having two electrodes. In between, we are going to maintain a silicon nitride as an electrical insulation. Why electrical insulation we are using means, as I told you, I should give some force or energy to that functioning, right? For this to act as an actuator. Okay, if I supply energy between the two electrodes, these electrodes, see here is a diagram. You can see here, this is a electrostatic Coombe drive. Okay, this is actual. This is a diagram wherein we are going to use it. We have one particular shuttle mass here. Okay, this shuttle mass is a fixed object. It is something like a plus sign. You have a fixed layer. That layer, it is made up of a polysilicon layer. On that we are going to have a folded beam suspension. I think this folded beam suspension means you have a beam wherein it can be moved inside, it can be moved vertically in and outer motion. And similarly, you have the other side with some teeth-like structure, right? So this is nothing but your moving Coombe. And it is also called like it is a fingers where this anchor it is fixed. This is a fixed end. This anchor is a fixed end, and this particular Combs or this particular fingers or teeth will be moving in and outside. This particular it will be moved in and outside, and we should give some amount of voltage to work with this function. So here now why we are going to use this in the biomedical field is if you want to segregate the component, if you want to have the segregation with respect to mass, it's not like if you have a look with what is that, the best example is if you go with what is that, medicines with different mg, like the gram level creation will be done, right? Again, the biomedical field, it works on a bulk manufacturing only. It is not like they are going to prepare one tablet sample and they are going to let it outside. They are going to produce in the bulk manufacturing with the bulk level. Okay, and whenever they start consuming a certain amount of mg to that particular in one particular shape for a tablet, we have to check each and every tablet whether it is completely filled with a medicine or you have any air gaps or if there is any rupture on the surface. Okay, see if you take one particular tablet, you can see lot many things based on the surface or coating, or you can see some designs on that, or they will be returning some what is that symbols, whether it is 1 mg or 2 mg. So each and every device, each and every component, it has to be tested. We can't test only one product. It's not like your what is that whenever we go for the production level. Whenever we go for the production level, suppose if I produce this particular mobile, I'm going to check all the features. We have different level of testing, whether it may be a random testing or it may be automation or it may be a beta type. Lot many testings are there. We are going to do all level of testing for one particular product. If it's satisfied, then we'll go for the bulk production according to my demand. But when we go for the medicinal field, each and every tablet, each and every device, that too in the medical field, it has to be weighed separately. Based on the mass and based on the what is that accuracy and whatever the amount of air filling it is taking place, based on that only they are going to have. Even if it is less dose or even if it is a more dose, again it is going to lead to some difficulties there. Right. So in the biomedical field, for segregating the components, we are going to use this electrostatic Coombe drive. Okay. So this is one of the advanced one that we are using as an actuator as well as a sensor too in the medical field. Okay. And there was one issue also last, I think last. They are the alumni. I think they are the seniors, like 2009 or 10 batch. The people who are working in the biomedical field near to this, what is that, Oscote or next to that, okay, nearby locality. When they started working with this biomedical field, no, you'll be having a big, what is that, boilers for mixturing some particular proportions. We can't mix the medicines. We can't mix the medicines within an open air. Okay, it has to undergo a different level of process. whenever they started cleaning this actuators now, whenever they started cleaning this particular actuator, what is that, the boilers, then they notice layer to layer what is the formation of the oxide, it has been formed, and this has been also sensed by that particular person using this Coombe drivers only. This will be acting as a sensor as well as it will be acting as an actuator also. Okay. So next you have it is a magnetic micro relay. See, before going to this magnetic micro relay, you have studied about relays. Have you studied about relays? What is the job of a relay? Can you just tell me where you are going to use the relays and what is the definition or how you are going to explain me a relay? Where exactly you are going to use the relays? Are we using any relays in the mechanical system? Complete mechanical system? Mechanical system are we using? Relay. What do you mean by relay? Okay, just tell me what do you mean by fuse? Be louder. Fuse is a protective device. It's a protective device. It senses. It only senses. Then it will sense and it is going to actuate also, right? It is going to take its own decision. If it is crossing the predetermined value, it is going to cut down the power itself. What about relay? Relay is a protective device. Relay is a protective device or not? It's a protective device. What about circuit breaker? Have you studied about circuit breaker? Anywhere did you see the circuit breakers? Or just tell me where exactly you are going to use fuse. Fuse. Have you seen the fuses? Where? In houses then? Huh. In house. Later. Everywhere, wherever we have a requirement of power supply, we are using fuse. Okay, suppose if I take our machines lab only, or if I take it high voltage laboratory, am I using fuse or a circuit breaker or a relay? What is the capacity of a fuse? Okay, you are using the fuse in your household application, right? Can you just tell me whether it works on the voltage parameter or current parameter? Fuse. Suppose I have a switch, I have a fuse. Okay, now there is a fluctuation in the voltage. If the fluctuation in the voltage, if it is taking place, whether the fuse it is going to actuate, it is going to protect the device, or it is going to function only for the current. See, if I speak about power or energy, means both voltage and current, it will be in together, right? So if I vary the voltage or if I vary the current, for which one it is going to respond, I'm asking. Fuse. For voltage or current. You are getting my question? Fuse. Just analyze your own household application only. And you have used your, what is that, in the ADE lab, you have used your trainer kits, right? There, whether we are using a fuse or a relay or a circuit breaker. In each and every trainer kit, we have a protective device. What is that you are using? Fuse. It works on current or voltage parameter. Voltage. Like what is the variation of parameter it is going to take place? If you say that if the fuse it is functioning for the voltage, there is no voltage variation in the houses at all. Do you find variation in the voltage? Whether sometimes it will be very light, dim intensity of light, and sometimes it will be high intensity. That is intensity. If it is varying, means it is. I can say it is the voltage variation if it is taking place. The voltage fluctuation. Whenever the voltage fluctuation, if it is taking place, whether the fuse it is turning on, it is going to protect the device. Is it protecting your device? If voltage fluctuation, if it is taking place, means whether the fuse is melting, whether you have replaced the fuse. Anytime you have replaced the fuse just only for the voltage fluctuation, you can analyze the best what is that voltage fluctuation in your refrigerators. You can get that sound also if you are using a what is the voltage regulators, or if you have an inbuilt voltage regulator in your refrigerator, you can have the sense there, right? The refrigerator, it will be creating some hissing sound if it is working with the lower voltage level, or if it is even with higher voltage level also, it gives some sounds. Yes, whether it is going to cut down the power there. Then fuse always it respond only for the variation of current and not for the voltage. See, whatever the material we are using in the fuse, fuse it is something like what is that element. Okay, even if you see in your trainer kits, this back of your trainer kits, there is one red knob. If you open that red knob, you have two electrodes, a conducting part, and in between you will be having a thin filament, a metal element. Okay, and that metal element is also a conductor itself. We can't use any insulator there. Okay, see, I have a supply, whether it is a 230 volts or whatever the voltage. Now this voltage has to be given to my device. Trainer kit is my device. I'm going to insert my IC. I'm going to connect patch cards, and I'm going to work for some particular application. Suppose if I want to protect my trainer kit, means I should have one fuse. Fuse is a protective device. Why do I require fuse there? Why do I require fuse? See, if I vary the current, whether the voltage it is going to be varied or not. Just give me the relation between the current and voltage. If I vary the current, what happens to the voltage? It varies. How? Inversely? You have studied Ohm's law, right? A basic law. From that only you can say, if I vary the current, obviously, inversely, the voltage is going to be varied. Okay. So, whenever there is a variation of voltage or current parameter, if it is taking place, see, suppose there is a sudden increase in the voltage. If there is a sudden increase in the voltage, what happens to the current? The current decreases. So the fluctuation of voltage, if it is taking place in the device, there is no what is a sudden increase or decrease in the current parameter that is going to take place. The current, it is basically because of movement of charges or the electrons, right? So more amount of electrons if it is moving, whatever I require, if it is more than that, obviously I don't have the device capability to take that particular amount of energy. See, if I give some amount of food to you, you can have whatever the amount of food you can have. But if I give excess, what happens? The same way, if there is a variation in the voltage, there will be some indication whether the intensity or the working principle or the efficiency, it may come down. Okay, there may be a lot many variation of parameters it may take place. But if there is a variation of current, it is going to have a effect. You can have many short circuits that has been happened in your houses, and there will be lot many scenarios it is going on, right? That is mainly because of the current parameter. See, here a fuse, it is a device which is used for only for a lower voltage levels. I can't go for a three-phase system or beyond that. I can use these fuses only for a single-phase system. I can use these devices only for a single phase. Suppose if I am working with 230 volts or 215 volts, what may be the current? What is the amount of current? You have your charges, right? You have your charges on that. What is the amount of current it will be having? What is the voltage? Huh? Phi 2? What about the current? It will be in milliamperes, right? So if you go with 5 volts or 10 volts, the current it will be in milliamperes. If I go with 230 volts, 250 volts, then my current it will be just around 5 amperes or 10 amperes, not more than 15 amperes also. See, think of single phase system. 230 volts, I'll be having less amount of current. That is the amount it has to be flowed. So if you are using the fuse, if I design a fuse which is working for a voltage parameter, means if small variation of current, if it is taking place in the system, it is going to lead more damage in the system there. More damage in the system. For the same reason, whenever we are using a fuse is a protective device wherein we are going to use this devices near to your supply side rather than the device. Rather than the device, and we are using as a current element. It is a simple thing. We'll be using a lead element also. Why we are using lead compared to aluminium or copper? Because when we use copper, no, it is a good conductor. Whenever I start passing energy, it will try to pass the energy from one end to the other end. Okay. If I use aluminium compared to copper, it is little bit less conduction. When we go with the conductivity, it is lesser than the aluminium. What is that? Copper. When we go with the lead, you can observe. You can analyze also. You just take one lead element. You take one lead element, keep it in near to the candle. Within a fraction of a second, you can see other end it will be heated up. Means again it is a good conductor where it can transfer energy from one place to another place. But why we are using lead? A mixture of alloy with the lead, because as soon as whenever the energy is transferred to the lead material, this lead it will try to melt faster compared to the copper element. See, copper it won't melt faster. What it will do, it will try to conduct, it will try to withstand, it has that viscosity, okay, it will withstand that, and finally it is going to affect the device. But if I use a lead now, suppose I am using a lead element or a metal element which I am using for the fuse, which is of 10 amperes. Okay, if I am passing from supply, I am giving only 10 amperes, it will give to the device. If I am using 10.1 or 10.2, 10.3, as you go on increasing the current parameter, what happens? This element, it will try to change its color. It will change its color to black, then it becomes reddish. At instant, if it is not able to withstand that particular current, it will try to break. And you can ask me, ma'am, if you are using a fuses near to our supply, then why we are using in our trainer kits? Right? So whenever we are using in this, the laboratory, so each and every laboratory, it is protected with the circuit breakers. Okay, the main supply is protected with the circuit breakers. Okay, and near to the circuit, we don't have any fuses. Whenever we take that energy at 230 volts to the device, we require one protective device to that particular kit. Even you have done with the basic electrical components, right? You have done with the basic electrical. Each and every device it is protected with the fuse there. See, if you are working with a lower voltage and current parameter, then the fuse is the best one. And it is a current sensing device. It withstand only that particular value, predetermined value. If it increases, it melts. It is something like you will be having the variation, see, with respect to the time. And if I take the current parameter, at 0 second, the current may be 0, the fuse it won't melt. And the current is I, something it is 11 amperes. And you have 10 amperes, you have 9 amperes, you have 8 amperes. Assume that I have taken a fuse which is of 9 amperes. So, if I am giving only the current of 9 amperes throughout 1 hour, 2 hours, no, it will work normally. Instead of giving 9, if I give 10 or 11, irrespective of time, it has to be sensed. It is something like if I give 10 amperes, at 1 second if I give 10 amperes, and at second time if I am giving 11 amperes, gradually it breaks the circuit. That means the time required for higher the current parameter. As you go on increasing the current, there will be a fast reaction and the fuse is going to melt there. Even in your houses, you are using MCB. What do you mean by MCB? Forgot everything, huh? What do you mean by MCB? You are using MCBs? What do you mean by MCB? Huh? Tell me the full form of MCB. Full form of MCB.